Claire Darbisher.
So, hi, this is Niall Sebastian Power Sieger from CIembassy.com. I'm gonna try to show you in this video universal communication, and the video gonna be for Claire Darbisher. I'm gonna try to communicate with your dad and your mom, and if it works out, then they can show themselves by using wind. As you can see behind me, there is not too much wind at the moment in the plants behind me. And later on, when I start the communication, they can use the natural environment to show themselves. And then they can trigger and canalize the wind to show themselves clearly and to reply to my questions. If they use a high wind level, they say yes. If they reduce the wind level, then they want me to ask further questions or they want to disagree. What you see here, this video material, is what mankind calls post of the angels, if you want it like that. In this case, it is post from your family members. I was watching a documentation yesterday about a horrible lifetime you might have in a British prison. And in the documentation with Ross Kemp, it was said that you helped your dad to leave planet Earth, if you wanted like that, to leave his human body because he was suffering. That's the way I understood it. And then I received a contact from your dad, so he communicated with me that I should try to reach you. And that's what I'm trying here. So that's why we are producing this video material. And I gonna start the universal communication after I showed you where I am and after you could see all the surrounding. So we're gonna use the plans behind me for universal communication, but before I show you where I am, and I'm gonna turn the one camera for that purpose for you. We are here in Bonn in Germany in the Rheinau, and what you see in the other camera is the Post Tower and the Rheinau, which is a huge park here in Germany. And this is the second camera, which is also full. So you will have two videos later and split screen, so you can see the situation in total. I'm gonna step aside, so this is one of the main trees we're gonna use, and the other tree is here, okay? And as I said, creatures which have lived as human beings before, so your ancestors, they can use wind, the natural environment, to communicate with me, a living human who is able to communicate with ancestors. And I'm gonna start the universal communication now, and maybe I have to optimize my communication with your dad in between. And it is also possible that in between maybe we get disturbed. I hope that that will be not the case, so that I can communicate with your dad as clear and as best as possible. And I'm in the park right now. It's during daytime, so I'm gonna relax. I'm gonna drink a beer. I'm gonna smoke a special cigarette here. And do not wonder about that. It's relaxed communication if everything works out well. Okay? So, oh, and there's the website CIembassy.com where you can find the video beside the YouTube channel and where you can find more videos and information about universal communication. Okay, that's for Claire Darbisher. And I'm gonna mention the following, just that you know you are the right Claire Darbisher. You have lived as Christopher before. I'm just saying that you know I identified you correctly, that you do not wonder, okay? So, to the father of Claire Darbisher, are you here? Then please trigger the wind one time clearly. And Claire, please get used to watching the plants, because your father will communicate in that way. And you see more wind is reaching that place here, the tree. And that's why the leaves do start to shake a little bit more. And the crown is now shaking clearly. Okay, and I'm gonna optimize my communication with your dad for a moment. He can use the crown and the down part of the tree. That's very important, because the one camera is capturing the down part of the tree and the other camera is capturing the whole tree. So I'm communicating that with your dad because I have to optimize my communication in the beginning, and then hopefully everything will work out very well. So that's the first live signal you have received from your dad after he lost his human body. And because you went and he went to a suffering time, because he was ill, and then you helped him to leave his human body, as far as I understood it. Just that you know, my mom was very sick during her lifetime in a hospital for a long, long time, and I could not do something like that. But I was thinking about the same because she was suffering so much. So I can understand situations if family members do suffer a lot, and their sons or daughters are thinking about the option to help them by, sorry for that, sorry for that, that's a bee, as you could see, attacking me, which sometimes do happen, but that would be very complex to explain. um, just for your information, I said it's possible that we could get disturbed during I try to communicate with your father, and that's another individual creature who have nothing to do with your family. It's a ex-female. She have lived as a woman, and she's going constantly on my nerves, and she can also control the natural environment. So because creatures which have lived as human beings before, many of them can control the natural environment. Because of that, I have a offer for free for you. You can send questions for your father to ciembassy.com, and your father gonna reply them so that you can identify him better, and then I'm gonna produce another video with your father. Just that you know. Can the father Bailisher, would you do that? Would you reply to her questions? And you can see there's a clear wind wave again in the crown, and down here also, okay? That you see. He's making it more clear for you. Okay? So Claire, in that way, you could send me questions to ciembassy.com, the website. There's an email thing, private questions for your father, and questions where you think only he can answer them, and then you can identify him even better. Just that you know that. That's very important. And then I would produce with him another video, and he would answer the questions that what he just agreed on by triggering the wind. Okay? And then you would have even a better identification, and you can do this for your father. That's your father I'm communicating with. But you also can send me questions for your mother, because I already do know she also wants to reach you. Just that you know that in general, and your father can agree on that if he wants to, by making clearly win. And later on, I can try to reach your mom as well. Your father will help her, and maybe she can show herself later as well. So would the father help her? Then please do another wind wave clearly, to so start to shake the down part of the tree maybe, and the crown one more time. If you would help to build up a contact that I can communicate with Claire's mother as well, and then maybe we can try that later. And you see in the crown there's much more wind now, so that's your dad agreeing to that. And please, the down part of the tree, can you react there clearly by triggering the wind a little bit more? A little bit more? Yes, that's good. Okay, now you see a wind wave coming in, and that's why the leaves do start to shake in that direction. That's for Claire Bailisher, that you do understand that. Okay? So that's ancestors communication. It's universal communication. That's what the Druids, for example, some of them could practice in the past in Europe. And your father can agree to that by triggering the wind so clearly for you, that you understand that, right? So your dad is communicating, triggering the wind by using a higher wind level if he wants to say yes, or he can reduce the wind level if he wants to bring me into a situation that I ask further questions. And beside all that, he also can communicate with me, a living human who's able to communicate with ancestors, by sending signals into my human body. And I have learned to outread my own human biological body to reflect inside myself to see that kind of communication. So we have different ways to communicate with each other, but with the wind, that's something I can make transparent. So, and your dad is agreeing on that now with the high wind level you can see in the background. Okay? And now I'm gonna communicate with your father to optimize our communication. Can the father of Claire Darbisher um, create a situation where the plant gonna be more quiet again? Yes. See the clear reaction? Okay, then please do so. And then I'm gonna start with further questions afterwards, and then she can see the clear differences. But you could see how clearly he's reacting anyway already now. Okay? So I'm gonna wait a moment to give your dad the chance to reduce the wind level, so then you always can better understand and see it is clear communication, and it is the principle of action and reaction. The action is I can ask him questions, and the reaction is he can answer the questions by using a higher wind level or by using a low wind level. And I have learned to understand that them as he want me to ask further questions, or he can keep it totally quiet. That would be more a no than further questions. So it's a little bit difficult. The specific parts, it's hard to explain, but important to understand is I had to learn, and I have learned the universal communication. So you have to get your eyes used to it and all that. Your brain have to understand it's possible. You have to be very conscious. Okay? To the dad, please do not reply at the moment with a yes if I explain to her, because please reduce the wind level that we then can keep going with more important questions for her maybe, and maybe for you as her family member. So I will give now your dad time to reduce the wind level, to keep the tree quiet again, and then I'll keep going with the next questions. Okay? So we just give him a moment, and then he will reduce the wind level in the area where I am, and then hopefully we can keep going. Okay, you were suffering as a father in the body, in your human body, yes. Um, is it okay for you that she was trying to help you to leave your human body? So do you forgive her? Do you accept that, or are you maybe even thankful that she tried that? You can send me a signal to my human body. Thankful? If thankful, please trigger the win clearly for your daughter that she understands that. So Claire, please watch the crown. You see now the clear reaction. You're gonna use more wind. Please make it very clear to her, because I think that's maybe an important thing where she was suffering a lot. And now you can see the tree was quiet for a moment, and now he's triggering the wind clearly also in the down part of the tree. Okay? And that's your dad saying that he was thankful that you helped him to die because he was suffering in his human body so much. And during I speak, I receive the transfer of feelings to my biological body, to my human body. And he's saying thanks, actually, the way I understood it. And there's another wind wave coming in, clearly also in the trees over here. And in the area where I am, the winds do start to shake other trees as well. So that's a yes. Okay. So I think that's very important for your daughter, so she do not have to suffer in her future, because she was helping her dad to leave his human body. So that's for Claire Darbisher, the answer from your dad after he died, how he looks at it. Okay. So please reduce the wind level again. He's saying yes to that point. that you can see that. And then when the plant is quiet again, I will keep going with the further questions so that she can see the difference. That's very important. So Claire, I will give you that again some time to reduce the wind level, then the leaves will be quiet again. And then I will keep going with some further questions. And that's the way the communication system is working. So you can understand it. Because it's a video, you can reply it as much as you want, as often as you want, and you can let your eyes get used to the communication way and to the communication system. See, now the wind level is reduced, the plant became quiet again. Um, I'm gonna ask now further questions, and your dads have to learn to reduce the wind level always specific and as fast as possible. That's something I have to optimize with him for a moment. Okay, that you understand it, because then you can see the difference the best, but you already could see it is clear communication. So if I would offer your daughter, he's already saying yes. If I please wait until I spoke out. Very important, so that your daughter can understand it. If I offer your daughter to come to a direct meeting, would you be able and willing to show yourself then? For example, here in the park to communicate directly with her to solve open questions she might have and to be able to communicate with her again. Then please, if you say yes, please trigger the wind now clearly and send more wind waves to this tree and please be very specific, so please use a clear wind level, a high wind level. You can start with the answer now. Okay, you're gonna start with the answer now. For Claire Darbisher, you see in the crown the reaction, and the answer is yes. Then please trigger the wind in the down part of the tree as well, so that she can see it's clear communication. Please start to shake the leaves over here as well. And to Claire Darbisher, he will reply now also in the down part of the tree. And to Claire's dad, please be very clear, please be very specific, please use a lot of wind in the down part as well as you just did in the crown. For Claire Darbisher, you can see now that more wind is reaching the down part of the tree, and that's why these leaves do start to shake. Please use some more wind, please trigger it clearly. And now he's using more wind, your dad, and that's why the leaves do start to shake much more clear, much more visual for you, the human who's watching the video. So Claire Darbisher. So Claire, in case, because you have been in prison and all that, in case you are broke and you are not able to travel, you can send me the questions. We will produce further video for you. Okay? But if you can afford it one day, you can come, you can contact me, and we can try to reach your family. Get it like that. You don't have to be upset in case you are broke because you do not get a job because of your past. Okay? I do not judge you for that. That's everything all right. Just that you know you have different ways to react. You can send the questions for your family, and then I will produce a video. Or you can, if you can afford it, you can come to Germany, and then we can try it. So you could be here in the park in Bonn, and then you would feel the wind on the skin, and you could understand the situation maybe a little bit better, because then you can see everything surrounding me the whole time. You could turn your head by yourself and watch the area and everything. Okay, I'm gonna relax now for a moment. That was a good part with your dad so far. Are you missing your daughter? That's right. Is that correct? Then make some wind for her, and for Claire, that you understand it, because you have changed. Um, you have changed your body, right? So you were a male and then you became a female, so transgender. I'm sometimes confused if I communicate with your dad. Uh, how I should communicate with him, I do not know him very, very well. I just know him since I was watching the documentation that was yesterday. So there is a little bit confusion because of that in my own communication with him, because I don't know how to react in the communication very well, if I should call you daughter or son. So because I do not know your father's position there, do not get confused because of that. So your dad is missing you. That's what he just is making clear by triggering the wind. And you can trigger the wind clearly also on the down part of the tree, please, because she will like that information anyhow. And you can see he's using now more wind to make that very clear. You can see that in the crown here, and the down part he will trigger the wind in that area as well. And then the leaves will start to shake again there as well. That's what you can see now on the other camera. Okay? In the area here where my lighter is posted. Okay, I'm gonna leave the cameras on, and I'm gonna do a short break for a moment, and then I'm gonna try to communicate with your mom. Is that okay for you? For you, the dad, the father of Claire Darbisher? Is that okay when I do start? You would like to have spent more time, right, to communicate with her? Yeah. Do you feel all right up there? So she do not have to worry. Let me ask it like that. She do not have to worry. Is that correct? Then please trigger the wind clearly. And you can see in the down part, he's already reacting. And in the crown, he's also reacting. Okay? So your dad is saying to you, Claire, please do not worry about me. I'm all right up here. And it's also, he was quite thankful, actually, as far as I got it, that you helped him leaving his human body, that you understand that. Okay, so there's no reason for you to be too sad about what happened regarding his position to that. So maybe that's a very important information for you for the rest of your life, that you can enjoy it a little bit better. Okay, and I'm receiving more feelings from your dad because it's a very important point for him. So that's by feeling transfers. Okay, if you ever have seen in Rome, there's this cathedral, and there's this picture on the wall, a very big picture where you see a finger from heaven pointing to a human finger, and feelings transfers to work the same way. It's a very popular picture. Everybody in the world have seen this once. So this picture is describing the situation I'm into as somebody who can communicate with ancestors, because they can put feeling transfers and information transfers into my human body. But it takes a lot of energy for me to outread that. It's a yeah, it's very difficult. It's a high art, if you want it like that, to do that. So it costs a lot of energy. You have to reflect on a very high level. as a human. So I'm doing a lot when I do communication with your dad, and he's agreeing to that by triggering the winds. Okay. And your dad, you can shake the wind to say see you later to her in case she's sending questions, or goodbye, or see you later in case she's coming to Germany for a meeting. And you can see the clear reaction. And I make a short break, I leave the cameras on, and afterwards I'm going to try to communicate with your mom. And your dad said already he will try to help with that. You can see the clear reaction to Claire Darbisher. That's your dad. That was your dad in the part of the video which just was captured here in Bonn. All right, so I'll make a short break. I'm gonna drink something, and then I'm gonna keep going with the communication with your mom. And I'm gonna ask her if she's your mom, and she's gonna have the possibility to identify herself. And I just leave the cameras on for the moment. Okay. So one more thing for Claire, you can see he is clearly saying see you later to you. I make a break for 2 or 3 minutes. I leave the cameras on so that everything is captured. In case the wind level will be lower, that's okay, because I'm gonna change my communication partner in between to your mother, and I have to optimize my communication with her for a moment. I have to get to know her a little bit at least, so that we will be able to produce a good video for you, because I do not know your mom yet. So it will be my first contact. And your dad, I did start to know because he contacted me to reach you. He will also be there. I can communicate with many creators one after the other, but I do not want to be in a situation to overload myself. I think the best is if you get good video material where everything is clear so that you can understand everything. Okay, so do not wonder if it's gonna be quiet then before I'm back in front of the camera. That's maybe because of the switch to communicate with your mom. Okay, your dad may clearly wind to say see you later to you. Anyway. Sah es so aus, als wenn sie eine gute Chance hast, nochmal zurück ins Leben zu schaffen. Und dann irgendwann gab es Momente, wo du denkst, es geht nicht mehr, und sie ist dann irgendwann auch gestorben. Und in den Momenten, da bist du gefragt. Sind die eigene Mutter leid zu sein. Oder Mutter. Eine Mutter, der geliebt immer noch. Dann ist das wie eine brutale Folter. Der kleine Junge, der ist gut. Wer sammelt noch Lebenserfahrung? Die Gänse, wenn er an die falschen guckt, er hat Gänse mit dem Kescher. Kann er dann sagen, sobald er an den falschen Ganter gerät, wird die Ganzen attackiert. Dann darf ich das nicht machen. Es gibt Gänseweibchen, das sind jetzt Weibchen, die diese nur Akku und Nullnachphase, gerät das Kind an den falschen Gang und wird die Erfahrung machen, dass der Gang abbricht. Und unter Umständen das Kind auch für 5 Minuten nicht mehr hoch. Also selbst wenn das Kind wegrennt, die können auch von hinten passieren, da das halt in die Arschbacken und sammelt die Lebenserfahrung erholt und das muss auch schon. So, ich bin gern. Muss man Gänse nicht anhalten. Die Gänse nutzt als Wache. Das kann ich schon sagen. Sie sind laut, sie machen sofort Alarm, wenn jemand kommt. Und sie attackieren, wenn die Stimmungslage nicht stimmt. Wenn sie jemanden nicht kennen, dann können sie auch nicht durch die Lautstärke. Ruhig das erste Lied wieder vor die Kamera. Und auf Gedanken sonst nicht antworten, sondern nur gezielt denken. Weil sonst brauchst du jetzt nicht jetzt.
beruhigen jetzt, nicht mehr reagieren will. Bitte, probiere euch doch zu helfen, dann macht doch jetzt. Bitte ruhig, ganz ruhig, nicht reagieren, sobald ich Mama schon anfange zu sprechen. Wenn ich spezifisch mit der Mama Belgischer kommuniziere, ganz gezielt antworten, erst nachdem ich ausgesprochen habe. Sonst möglichst ruhig halten. Das ist wichtig. Wichtig. Bitte ruhig halten. Diese Daten sind sonst kaputt. Ihr nehmt euch gerade die Stimme. Bitte ruhig halten. Ich möchte jetzt vor die Kamera. Es warten noch andere Familien. Bitte ruhig halten. Oder die Mutter kann schon. So, ich gebe euch jetzt noch 30 Sekunden durch. Haltet doch bitte jetzt mal den Baum ruhig ein.
So, hello dear Claire Darbisher, here's Niall again. So, as you could see, the tree is now more quiet. And I had some communication problems in between where I was not in front of the camera, but your mom is here as far as informations have received me. So, to Mama Claire, to the Mama from Claire Darbisher, please produce some wind to show yourself clearly to your daughter. And you can see the clear reaction. This is your mom, her life signal. Okay? See that? See how specific that is? And was quiet before. Okay? You could see there was a quiet moment before, and you could see the clear reaction. So that's your mom, dear Claire, and she also wants to say hi to you. And I'm gonna communicate with your mom now, and I'm just communicating since a very short while with her. So I have to optimize my communication maybe, and hopefully we do not get disturbed during the time when I try to communicate with your mom. Okay? So I try my best here as a human, and the rest your mom have to work out, but also she could get disturbed in between. I hope that will not happen, because that will make for you everything difficult to understand the communication, and we want to keep it simple as possible for you, that you have a good chance to understand it. So to the mom of Claire Darbisher, please reduce the wind level again and keep the plant as quiet as possible, and then I can start with my questions. And please do only react after I spoke out, so that Claire see the clear differences and can see that it is clear communication. And please start to reduce the wind level now, so to keep it quiet as fast as possible always. That would be good. Okay, it is more quiet. Do you want to say, Claire, you miss her a little bit? You would like to communicate with her better, right? And Claire can see the clear reaction again. A wind wave is coming in here, and now the tree starts to shake again. So that's your mom. She also would like to communicate with you much more complex. She's missing you, and you can see here in the down part the clear reaction. Okay? And the tree starts to shake again completely. So, okay? So that's a very very clear reaction. That's very good. The wind level is good. That's to your mom. What I'm saying, because I know how it looks in the videos. Um, um, please reduce the wind level again. And then I have one more question. Please reduce the wind level again. And then I have one more question. Afterwards, after I solved all my questions, which are also for you, Claire, they're mostly for you, Claire, and then I'm gonna stop the video, gonna send it to you, and later on you can send your questions for your parents, and then I can produce another video with them, or we can meet here in Germany and we can try to build up a contact with them. Okay? So the tree is more quiet. You're the mom from Claire, you would show yourself in a direct meeting or for another video, and you would answer questions she might send, right? And you can see the clear reaction in the crown again, Claire. Okay? So very important, you can see in the down part the reaction. So that's your mom. She's also agreeing on that point that if you want to send questions, I can do another video with her. She will try to be there then. She will try to answer your questions, and then we could produce more video material for you. And you can send some questions to ensure to identify them the best, whatever you have on questions. If you want specific details how they feel, or you can send all the questions. Please not hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, but let's say 20 questions shouldn't be a problem. I will try that. Okay, so you get amount of questions free, and of course I will do that for free. So I'm not charging for that. You just get it for free, and I will try to help you there as much as I can. Me, the living human, and I do have a lot of respect that you try to help your dad in that way. So you're not getting judged only by social societies. You will also find humans respecting that a lot. Okay, just that you know. To the mom, do you want to say goodbye to Claire also with a huge wind wave? And then I'm gonna send her the video. And I'm sure, Claire, your parents would like to speak much more with you. They would like to do a 3 hours video maybe, but I'm helping a lot of families. Please understand that I'm trying to help many humans which have loved ones they are missing, as somebody of the few which are able to communicate on such a high level, and who's able to produce data where creatures which have lived as human beings before, so ancestors, can show themselves and produce data. Just that you know, in general, they would like to communicate a lot more, but I'm trying to help as much as possible. Okay? So to the mom, do you want to say see you later to Claire? Then please trigger the wind one time clearly. And I also say already, see you later maybe, Claire, talk to you later maybe, and you can send your questions. Okay? If you have questions, you just send them to siaembassy.com. You're Niall Sebastian Power Sieger, and that's your mom. She's making wind now to tell you see you later, and that you can send the questions, and that she would like to communicate with you. So that were the parents of Claire Darbisher and me, the living human who's trying to make transparent universal communication with ancestors of living humans. And the video was for Claire Darbisher and the public which want to inform themselves about universal communication. It's going to be published on ciembassy.com. And hopefully I could help Claire and I mean my part in the video, just to make it transparent, to ask the questions and stuff like that. And the wind was canalized by both parents of Claire Darbisher. Thank you very much for watching. You're Niall Sebastian Power Sieger.